that she can get it. Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high. Hands up high. Hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now. Put me in.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Handle That. I'm Eliza, your host. Don't mind that it's dark right now. It's wintertime. Shit happens. And we are here with the lovely Greg. Hey, kid.
Hi.
Hey, kid. Where'd you even come up with that name? I didn't even ask that.
You want to know? It's a really funny story.
Okay.
It was a group of friends, and we were drunk, of course. You know AMH, the tattoo artist?
Yes.
Her. She technically came up with it.
Really?
Yes. We were on a porch, and we were over our friend's house, and there was some kids across the street, and she yelled, "Hey kid, bitch!"
Not hey kid, bitch.
And the kid turned and looked at us, and we just started laughing, and I was like, I'm about to make that my Instagram name. So my name was Hey Kid Bitch for like 2 days, and then I just got rid of the bitch part, and I just kept Hey Kid. And
it just stuck.
Yeah, I never changed it, because why?
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
So it was Hey Kid.
Okay, well there's that. And we're going to get into this.
Yeah.
Period.
Uh-huh. Hey Kid Bitch.
Hey kid, bitch. How's it going?
It's going.
It's going.
Yeah.
Do people actually like come up to you like, "Hey, you're Hey Kid"? Like, do people like refer to you?
No.
No.
I don't post a lot of pictures of myself.
Are you mysterious?
I like to be an enigma.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That one first.
I think people know like me as a person, and then they also know my art. So I get a lot of like, "Oh, that's you?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm like,
But I feel like a lot of people know you as an artist, but a lot of people don't know that you used to do makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk about that and like how that started? And just like,
Oh yeah, okay. So how I started doing makeup. So I wanted to be a drag queen. Real bad. I did drag for a while, like a
I feel
couple
like you
months.
showed me a few pictures. Yes.
Like, no, it was probably like a year or two. Yeah, I saw RuPaul's Drag Race. Like the very first season, I was one of those kids to watch like all of them. And I told my mom, I was like, "Mommy, I want to be a drag queen." And she was like, "Okay." And my mom is like a tomboy. She does not wear a stitch of makeup at all, never has. And she was like, "Well, I can't really like teach you how to do it, but I can show you how to like take off makeup and like take care of your skin."
Mm-hmm.
So she bought me a bunch of like makeup and skincare, and she just let me practice. Then I started doing drag.
Mm-hmm.
I like got a drag mom, and I had like a little drag family.
Really?
I did.
So how did you find those people? How did
The
that
internet.
The internet.
The interwebs. My first drag mom, she's a local drag queen. Her name's Sizzlin' Sandra.
Okay.
Which is really small world. You know Jasmine Perry? She's a chef. It's her aunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just like, I knew your auntie. Yeah, so Sizzle, she was my first drag mom. And she taught me a lot. Like, you know, how to make pads, how to fix your wig, like where to go. Really was sourcing things, like where to go to find stuff.
Okay.
Really taught me a lot of. And it was like a whole drag family.
Aww.
And you know, drag queens are still performing today, like Chablis and Tia Hall.
Are these all local people?
All local drag queens, black queens.
Period.
You know, and they really taught me a lot about community, like what outside of like makeup and all the fun stuff, it was just like how to be an active member of a community, how to support people.
Mm-hmm.
That was like really cool. So I stopped doing drag because it was expensive and it hurt.
It hurt?
It hurts. Like, you know, you were in a corset, 5 pairs of tights, pads, 3 bras, 4 wigs.
Not 4 wigs?
Yes.
What?
I'm like, 3 pairs of lashes, that shit is uncomfortable.
Yeah, I most definitely have layered my lashes before. That's a task.
Oh my God. Like, I used to have to make custom lashes, like doing makeup. Yeah.
Just did you actually like perform?
I performed a couple of times.
Really?
Yes. The doll was on the list stage.
Okay. Was like, what was your name?
Jessica, just Jessica.
Okay.
I was classy. I don't need a last name.
Period.
It was a gay club here. It's closed now, called the 10.
Okay.
And they used to have like amateur nights. So every Sunday, you can like sign up and then do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
Right? They'll give you like a little time slot, and you knew your time slot, you knew what you wanted to do, and they'll let you do it on stage. So people would sing, people would dance, people would do drag. Like,
okay.
it was whatever you want to do. Sundays, nights, your night to do it.
Period.
So I would perform on Sundays, and it was cute. I performed a couple of times, maybe like 3 or 4 times. I think the last time I did a drag show was like my 21st birthday.
Really?
Because I was a rebel. So I was definitely in there underage. This is me like 19, 20.
Oh, wow.
In the club.
In the club.
In the club, honey. Yeah, so I stopped doing drag, but I still loved makeup. I was very androgynous.
Is that how you got into makeup? So was that like your segue?
Yeah, like I went from drag to just being a boy in makeup, and then a friend of mine that I knew from the drag community, he worked at MAC, and he one day I was just buying makeup, and his manager was there, and he like went to his manager, was like, "You need to see him in makeup," and then like he grabbed my phone, went through my pictures, mind you, like it was no consent. He just like went through my pictures and like found a picture of me in makeup and showed her, and she kind of interviewed me on the spot, and yeah, they asked me back to do a makeup trial, because like I don't know if it's still this way now, but at MAC you would have to like interview face to face, and you have to do a makeup interview.
Like a model type of thing. Okay.
So you have to bring in a model, and they would switch your model. So like you would bring in somebody, and they would be like, okay, you go to the person to your left. So you had to do someone that you didn't bring in. Because like that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like you're familiar with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is cheating. We need to know that you can
Actually do it on anybody.
So I did that. I got hired as like freelance, and that's when my makeup career started. Yeah. So I worked for MAC for 3.5 years, well, almost 4 years.
Really?
And I left MAC to work at Sephora because they were trying to pay me more to do less.
Period.
So I was like, what the fuck? Why would I not take your money?
Exactly.
And then I started feeling guilty.
Why? They're a whole corporation.
I know. I was young. It was stupid. It was like what? Why are y'all doing that?
So y'all giving me money to do this?
Yeah. Like, they were dishing out the cash. I was making like $24 an hour.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. So when you're doing makeup, are you still doing, like, were you painting and stuff at the time? Or is it like, no?
I was like, I didn't start painting like to capacity until I was at Sephora.
Really? So was it just like a hobby? Was it like a release?
I've always loved painting. When I was younger, I would draw. Like I would doodle on everything. My mom, she's like a doodler.
Okay.
So she would draw on everything. That's kind of like how it started.
Okay.
Like, you see any piece of paper in our house, like it would be, you would see her drawing on something and then me like drawing next to it. And like still to this day, I feel like I draw like my mom.
Really?
I do, like little things that I just naturally do. I can think of like a little thing that she drew that was similar.
Really?
Yeah, like she would put patterns inside of things and like, yeah. So I started painting like to capacity maybe 2016.
That wasn't that long ago at all. Okay.
It wasn't. Like, I really thought I was going to be a full-time makeup artist.
Really?
Forever, always. Like,
Cause you were working on photo shoots and stuff after you left working for an actual makeup brand, right?
Yeah, after I left working for Sephora, I was freelance, and I would only do commercial clients because that's where the money is. And I didn't like doing weddings because it's just stressful for no reason.
Yeah.
So I would do paid jobs, catalog stuff, video shoots, photo shoots, small little indie projects, really anything that I could kind of feel creatively satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And then art happened.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first show I had here was Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
She did a show with at the Walker.
Oh, at the Walker Theater?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
It was called La Femme. It was me, Charlie Black, and then some other girl, I don't know. That's how me and Charlie met.
Oh.
Yeah, so we did that show together. And it was just random paintings that I had. But I sold one, and I was like, huh. Not me making money.
Yeah.
That's how makeup really took off. I was like, oh, I can make money off this. Bam, I'm about to do this. So then when art started happening, I was like, okay, I really like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I started painting more, and I didn't like my art.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't.
So is how you were drawing and painting then similar to what you do now, or was it was completely different?
Completely different. Because then I was creating art that I thought was I was creating things that I felt I don't know how to put it in words, how I thought art should look.
Creating art for other people, not for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, if I'm going to be a painter, I need to paint like this. Mm-hmm. I was trying to recreate things. I was trying to emulate other styles that I saw rather than doing what felt
good to you.
Yeah. And I still kind of struggle with that today. Doing the things that feel good to me versus what I think should happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to kind of shy away from creating personally, and that's how I found curation. So it was I know I love art. I love the process of it. I love being a part of it. I don't necessarily want to be the focus though. Yeah. And I started to put things together.
Well, so what was the first show you curated?
The first show that I curated was called Fathers, and it was at Future Friends. It was fathers retelling a narrative, and I reached out to some photographer friends of mine and a bunch of black men, and I set up these little interview sessions and portrait sessions. So I partnered an artist with a person, and I had them take pictures of them, and then we dictated their interviews. So someone transcribed their interviews. So we had the written interviews, and B, she recorded it. So she played our videographer role, and we turned that into a little mini documentary and exhibition. So that was the first show that I did, and I did installation art for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah, so I created this little respite for black folks. I had silk flowers, and I took the insides out and I put hair products in it. So it smelled like niggas in there.
Oh, fucking
yeah, and I had the little the car scent tree things I put around Future Friends. So it smelled like niggas, and everywhere you look.
We here, baby.
And it was these large prints of black men.
So is it the father and sons interviewing each other? Is that what that was?
No.
Or was somebody interviewing them?
Yeah, so It was a collaborative effort between me, Ebony Chappelle, and Fee. So Fee did the videography. Ebony, she wrote the stories and helped with the interviews. And then I like curated, facilitated the interviews, and like hung the show and did all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like really fun. So we did an opening show, a closing show, a private viewing of the documentary at Future Prince, and then we also did satellite programming at the MLK Center, because I did this Father's Day. Like, it was the month of Father's Day, so like Father's Day we had it at the MLK Center, so it could be accessible to Black folks.
Period. Let me know if this hurts, 'cause I know your picture.
Yeah, so that was the first show that I put together all on my own.
Look at you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was great, and I like raised money for it, and like it
sounded like it was successful. I'm here
it
for
was
that.
cute. Then at like the tail end of the pandemic, so like early 2021, I was asked to do a solo exhibition at Purdue. Yeah, so I did a show. It was my first solo show.
Really? That was your first one?
Mm-hmm. My first solo show was at Purdue. And it was up for a month and a half, 2 months.
What was it called?
Minding My Business.
Period.
And that was like the first body of work that I like created, and like it was like the first series that I put together. And the show was about virtue. So I like did 12 paintings, and I named them each after like a virtue. And then I made like a visual essay to go along with it. And it was like really exciting. And at the same time that went live, okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. When I started making money, I was like, okay, how can I make more money?
Mm-hmm. Like bigger.
I'm like, oh, okay. Selling things isn't sustainable. Like,
yeah,
that's not enough. What can I do? So I started looking up grants and like looking up opportunities that like we had in town. So I went to the Arts Council's website and signed up for the art opportunities email. And they send you all these like things that you can fill out and do, and like what grants are available, what, who's looking for art, who's trying to show stuff. So I applied for Swish.
What's that?
So it was during the Final Four that year, so 2021, again, everything is opening back up. And you know, like Indiana is a huge sports town. So during like the Final Four, they did like this huge art activation that year. So it was like they had a bunch of performers out. That's when they started the sidewalk gallery.
Okay.
And I submitted my work, and then I got accepted. And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna show your work in the sidewalk gallery." So I was like, "Okay, cool," but I didn't know where it was gonna be. So I had that show at Purdue, and the sidewalk gallery went live the same month, so it was March. So like March Madness, I had a show at Purdue, and then I found out I had work on the Circle. So that's when they put up that mural on the Circle of Courage. And so it was like really cool to have a piece of the art that was in the show also on like public display on the Circle, which like brought more people to the show. And then like I sold stuff from the show. So that was kind of crazy. Like at that point, you know, I'm making art for $20-$30, you know, like what? At that show was the first time I sold something that was like a couple $100.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, oh.
Well, so we making something. We doing something now.
What's this? So that was really cool to do that. And then it just kind of just started to go from there. Yeah.
So when you paint, I know you said you use oil paint. Do you use anything else? Or you don't use oil anymore, do you?
No, I don't. I transitioned to gouache.
gouache? Because gouache you can turn into like a watercolor, correct?
It could like you can have it like really opaque, which means it's like a solid color, or it could be pretty thin, like translucent. So like gouache, but also like that neurodivergency be kicking my ass, honey. So I have to kind of like keep it exciting with the medium. So like I've worked digitally, so like I've created some digital works. I like tufted some pieces, so I've done some.
Oh yeah, you did make like a little rug.
Some fiber art. I've like dabbled in like video essays, so I'll like make some cool contemporary like video art stuff. I've sculpted. I've done like some sculptures.
Really?
What else? I like gouache, oil, acrylic markers. I like those. Yeah, I'm easy. I'm for the streets.
I'm for the streets.
Well, play with any team. Probably besides like music. Oh, you know, I directed this like ballet thing.
What? When was this?
This was 2019.
What?
Yeah. So that's how like I know I don't ever want to do anything with like music or dance again. But you learn a lot. You know, you like anything that you try, you learn something out of it. You know, if it's nothing that has to do with like a technical skill, it's definitely a life lesson. Like,
period.
What do you not want to deal with?
Exactly. I might be put these two in, and then we're gonna go from there and see how it goes. Whoo, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, I love multimedia things.
Period. Do you? I feel like you have like characters that you draw more often than not. Do they have like a name?
They just color folks.
Color folks. I remember you did say color folks. I love that.
They, just random ass black people, people of color.
One thing I love about you is that I feel like I'm sure people come to you and think like, want to be like deep thinkers. You're like, it's just black folk.
You know, it's just
like, it's just black folk.
It be niggas.
It be niggas.
It be niggas. I'm like, you can philosophize anything if you want to, but
yeah, that's like, let's be real.
Calm down. I'm doing this, so I'm not sad.
For real, for real. For real.
At the end of the day, I'm just making stuff that I want to see.
Period.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just color folks. Sometimes I'll do like caricatures of a person, but usually it's just random black people.
Would you ever, like, I feel like everybody wants their work to be displayed some type of way. Like, would you ever want your work to be, like, in a museum? Or is it kind of like, that'd be cool, but it's not like I'm not shooting for that?
Yeah, I'm not. I would like that, because I'm like, who wouldn't, you know? Yeah. Is it something I'm gunning for in this moment? No. Again, it would be great to have, like, a solo exhibition, or at least like a work in a place that like I respect, you know, just because I know that it's going to be viewed in the way that I intended it to be viewed, which feels good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not really a priority of mine. Like, I think my goals have really shifted a lot as I've gotten older. Like, really, I'm just trying to sustain happiness. Period. That's really where it stops and where it starts. Like, is this bringing me joy? Is this, creating a path of ease for me? Great. But accomplishments, that comes.
Yeah.
It'll happen. It's just like, as long as you are doing what you are set out to do, things will come.
Period.
That's why, I don't show a lot, because I'm like, that's not
the move.
Yeah, it's not my goal. My goal isn't to have a bunch of shows. My goal isn't to have my art everywhere. It doesn't need to be everywhere. It just needs to be able to be processed the way that I want it to be processed when it is out. That's really all I care about.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple, baby.
Real simple. Like, okay.
So what inspires your art?
Yeah, like, I pull inspiration from a lot of things, but really and truly it is, again, that happiness thing. So for me, art allows me to communicate things. And most of the time, that is why I'm creating. If I could be honest, it's like how people journal. I have to make something to help me process whatever's going on. So, like, I would love to be like, liberation or whatever. No, my health. My health is my biggest inspiration. Like, I have to get these things out. I have to work through these emotions. I have to, understand what's going on for me. And art helps me do that. But, like, outside of that, it's also history, like history keeping. That's what all artists do. We are communicating the time that we are living in now.
That's true.
We're using the references we have available to us now. We are putting all these things together to tell something, to communicate something. And for me, it's just like, I like to create little time capsules with my art. Like, this is how I'm feeling now. This is what I'm going through. This is what I see people going through. This is how I see the world.
So, Greg, what do you plan to do during your break, or do you have anything that's upcoming that we should look out for?
Yeah, so besides this little pop-up today, I got this really great opportunity. I'm one of the artists that was selected for the Creative Renewal Grant. Yeah, so over the next 18 months, I will be working on this really fun project that I call the Chitlin Circuit. So I want to kind of recreate that energy that was alive during the Chitlin Circuit. So that was like roughly between 1930 to like 1960, right before desegregation, where Black people had to make their own things that they wanted to do and see.
Okay.
And the Chitlin Circuit is a great example of that. So Black people love entertainment. It was a group of venues that held these Black entertainers, and like the entertainers were able to travel from state to state, city to city, venue to venue, enough that they were able to support themselves, right? So it was like grassroots art organization to its finest. So I want to visit some of those cities that had these prominent stops and see what kind of infrastructure is still around, see if there's any new infrastructure, visit Black and brown art spaces, like specifically grassroots art spaces that are owned or operated by people of color. So, like over these last couple of months, I've been able to do some traveling. Like I went to Chicago, and we went to this really incredible museum that was started by some Latinx folks. So the Museum of Mexican Art in Chicago, it was like founded by 3 teachers.
Really?
Yeah. And they wanted to see like more Latinx representation in the fine art world. So, they put their things together, and they end up, they have a museum there now.
That's cool.
We went to this other like really cute like neighborhood gallery, also operated by a Latinx woman. That was fun. I went to New Orleans. Went to this like Black-owned coffee shop. They do some really fun programs out of there. But it's exciting, to be able to travel and build a network of like support, really, when it comes to these like grassroots art organizing. and also be able to help bridge artists into other markets, you know. So I'll be working on that. Everything else, who knows, you know. Of course, I'll be doing things over in Garfield Park, being one of the artists in the APLR program. It's exciting. So, you know, we do like community planning, community activation. So I'll definitely be doing some work over there. Some little things, you know.
Some
Little things. Some fun things.
Well, I'm proud of you. You're always doing amazing. You're always helping people. Everybody loves you.
This is crazy.
Oh, what? Well, shut up. What are you talking about?
That's the thing.
You're fantastic, dude. And you're great energy. You are a bowl of sunshine.
Sometimes. It just, to be honest, it feels really good. Like, to have a community, you know, to be a part of something bigger than myself.
Period.
And it's like, even when I don't have it, or I don't feel
You
like,
don't feel it.
that it still exists, and like, my actions exist outside of myself, you know, like, I'm always like, oh, I can do more, or it could be better, or, you know, what else can I do? And it's like, sometimes,
trying to take up space.
yeah, it's like, actually what you did is enough, and it helped, and it did the job.
Period. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks to Greg.
Oh, thank you.
Just a ball of sunshine.
You're a ball of joy.
You're a ball of joy. Well, I appreciate you. I love you.
I love you.
And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Say it.